afternoon, everyone. My name is GoWoon Kim. I'm doing my postdoctoral project with the supervision of Professor Chun Jin-young at Korea University. I know it's very sleepy time. The series of presentation for 2 days, our brains are full and and it's after lunch, our stomachs are full too. I think I brought a interesting enough story, at least for me, to wake you up for another 10 minutes. And you feel free to fall asleep. I'm just kidding. But because this is academic presentation, not the storytelling time, I'll first get into academic background, concepts, and approach first, and then we will get into the story of traditional Korean farmers' wisdom that is embedded in Korea's agricultural landscapes. So why traditional rural landscapes are so important? So many people here are very interested in urban socio-ecological systems, but I think and other researchers find today's global food system that largely depend on conventional agricultural landscapes have significant impact on food security, biodiversity, and local systems. Do you agree? Yeah. So, people find the necessity to change the paradigm from the conventional food system to agroecological systems for the sustainability of food systems in agricultural landscape in rural areas by incorporating both socio-ecological system framework and indigenous or traditional systems within their framework. And the indigenous system that I brought today as a case is traditional farm pond in Korean agricultural landscape called dunbong. Dunbong is a Korean word to call farm pond. And academically and conceptually, it can be understood as a community irrigation system. And according to David Yu, the first presenter of our session, community irrigation system has all the features of complex socio-ecological systems. That is, first, hard human-made infrastructure. Second, soft human-made infrastructure. Third, natural infrastructure. And this is just to give you an idea of the important concepts relevant to rural socio-ecological systems, rural infrastructure. Through the literature review, I found multifunctionality and ecosystem services are two important concepts for rural infrastructure resilience. And people find the need to incorporate these two concepts as a holistic approach through the dialogue with regard to ecosystem service bundle, multifunctional agriculture, land sharing, and land sparing. But what I feel as a more important step is to have a broader approach rather than having a specific concepts. So what I think important for rural landscapes or agricultural landscapes is to have a landscape approach, because we are dealing with real-time, real-life issues, and we need to incorporate agroecological methods within our research, as well as scale mismatch issues and conservation issues too. So when we mean landscape approach, these are the lists that we have to consider. And as you can see, resilience, the reason why we are here, is one of the list. And they all, the list tells you that we actually need to go to the sites and talk to people with the real life issues. So the case that I brought today is about Dunbong in Gosong area, very southern part of South Korea, very, very south. And do you see the blue dots, dark blue dots? These are where the farm ponds are located. Currently, there are more than 300 farm ponds in Goseong, and the local government is investing a lot of money to make it as an eco-tourist site currently. And if you look at if you take a more closer look, they are very. This region has most dungongs, and this region is called Goryunyeon. Can you take a guess why? These regions have more than 1/3 of farm ponds. Yeah, that's one of research questions that I have, and I have to answer for another few months. The Goryunyeon that I pointed has most dungongs, 84, but in fact the data shows the site has 84 dungongs, but if you go to the region and see, there are more than 100 dungongs. And I saw a news report that only this region in Goseong area had no problem when they had the rice plant in this year, because the region had a very severe winter drought, and winter drought means no water in springtime. But because they had enough dungongs in their rice paddy fields, they had less problem than other regions. And based on the observation of documents and reports, the people in the region found the service of water supply is most important, followed by providing habitat, cultural landscapes, and educational activities, flood control, and some dungongs, people even do some religious purposes. Now they don't do any rituals, but they would like to keep the story of religious beliefs related to their dungongs. And this is just to give you an idea of where this kind of landscape can fall into in terms of ecosystem service groups. I think dunggong landscape can fit in group 3, but now Goseong-gun is aiming at moving to group 1 because some dunggongs are not no longer useful for farmers, because farmers want to have reservoirs rather than dunggongs because of drought problem. So governmental officials now try to have the sites as a tourist attractions. So in Goryunyeon, where the most dunggongs are populated, the yellow dots are dunggong and the blue dots are reservoirs in the region. By comparing, I think, these two water sources, dunggong and reservoir, I think we can get an idea of resilience design. For instance, the size and the number, there are more dunggongs than reservoir, as you can all see. And in terms of size, dunggong size is very varied, whereas the reservoir in the region has minimum of 100 square meter. And location is where the difference becomes more apparent and most prevalent. For dunggongs, they tend to locate within rice paddy fields, close to coastal areas where farmers have difficulty collecting water. And whereas reservoirs are located along the streams, downhill, within the mountainous area. How about water source? Dunggongs use groundwater or rainwater or spring water, whereas reservoirs have to depend on surface water and rainwater. And monitoring and management stakeholders are farmers for Jungbongs, whereas reservoirs are managed by local government. So by comparing these two water sources, polycentric governments, multiple scale, adaptive management, resistance to disturbance, participatory and user-friendly monitoring aspects can be found and can be further discussed and researched. And so based on the observation, what I can suggest for potential design and application is, as a hard human-made infrastructure, we need to think about adaptive management in multiple scales. For soft human-made infrastructure, participatory and user-friendly monitoring, polycentric government system can be found as key aspect in Jungbong. And lastly, as a natural infrastructure, Jungbong provides a very good habitat for biodiversity, as well as it shows a resistance to disturbance. So these are something that we can think in designing green infrastructure. Yeah, this is it. Thank you for listening.
Can I ask a question? Jungbong.
Yes.
In some aspects, it looks similar to agricultural reservoir, and in some aspects, it also looks similar to artificial wetlands. What is the biggest difference of the Jungbong to the other?
I think
Especially in functional way.
in functional way, well, I actually thought about the purpose of establishment, because it was built by the farmers for real purpose. In functional way, well, I hope this can provide some answers to your question. So I am trying to quantify ecosystem service model of Jungbong. This is based on qualitative data to just give you an idea of how we can show the model. As a natural, naturally made. No, it's not naturally made. I will keep that question in mind and reflect on my paper.
Thank you very much.
didn't have a reservoir in 1960, and should rely on small irrigation system. At that time, actually, we had a lot of Jungbong all over the Korea, but most of the Jungbong were removed in other areas. So actually, I just wonder why we have a lot of remaining Jungbong in Korea. That's we have to ask.
If we lose the function of water supply in small Jungbongs, then they are gone. So we need to think of other functions to conserve these landscape elements.